Call Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Basham Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone of well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Before I say anything, I'm going to just read Revelation 20:7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. So, if you've been in this thing for any amount of time, within with a minimum of 6 months, you understand that Satan means the accuser. There's a spiritual demon, Satan, but his physical counterpart is Esau, Edom, who does the will on this earth. Satan does answer to Yahweh. He is one of the angels, and he answers to Yahweh. And Yahweh, being creator of all, has his son Yahushai, who's on the right hand, and Satan, who is on the left. And that is why Esau Edom is such a pure evil devil, which means deceiver. I'm sorry, devil means deceiver. Salakia. Devil, not Satan. And Satan means adversary. And if you go into the book of Genesis, you understand, I believe it's Genesis 27. It talks about Esau and Jacob. And these are the main characters of this story. So those are the two who are promised world domination, for lack of a better term, Esau and Jacob. And we also know that if you go to the Apocrypha, maybe Esdras 6, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6. And if you want an in-depth description of all of these things, if you need something like an exhaustive description, then you need to just type in GMS and then whatever you want to know. It's there. You will need to type it. It's something you have to type out. It won't just pop up because now it's all been shadow banned or whatever. So you need to type it out. And there's a spirit of darkness and a command spirit. Or maybe it's 5. Let's see. I need to get that. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Maybe it might be 5, actually. It's 6 and 9, so I pass it up. Okay, let's read that. So and in the 2nd Esdras, or Ezra, the 4th book of Ezra, tells you about this here. So 6 and 9 will go straight to the point. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So when we talk about world ending, we mean the end of a eon or aeon, an end of an age, an end of a rulership, and the beginning of another rulership. So after I've done that, the point of this video, I was watching a series on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. And I'm on the final season right now. It's really good, but we understand if you need any historical context on this thing, you need to look at Elder Malcolm. It is Maccabean Spirit. Let me see. Critical Race History and Fact. That's one of his other channels. Let me see. It might be on my. The interface is a little different on this one. Let's see. So yeah, GMS Maccabean Spirit right here is Elder Malcolm, one of his channels. And then you have Critical Race History. This is another one. Critical Race History Facts. Oh, I need to look at that. Oh, I did watch it. Okay. And then you have GMS Maccabean Spirit. So you look at that Maccabean Spirit Ba. And he does a very extensive and exhaustive analysis on who is who in the Bible, right? And we also understand that's why I went to Revelation 20, because when he was bound, when Esau Edom was bound, when Rome fell, was around 300 something BC, and then he started to come back into power into 1300, which was the Renaissance period. So it lines up perfectly with history. So anyway, after I got that whole thing, that is the pretext for everything that I want to talk about. I was watching The Last Kingdom, and it talked about King Constantine of Scotland. So this is his son, and was there a black king in Scotland? But the word Scot means black. Land of the Dark, Ireland, Scotland. These were Jake, and it is around 967, the time of 967, and all and around this. This was still when Rome fell. So you had the Roman Empire with the Edomites, and then you had the Holy Roman Empire that was with Jake. And while the Edomites were not ruling, they were somewhere in caves, eating their own shit out of skulls and things of that nature. And they lie about that, the timeline in history, and that's where you get the caveman from. They lie about their timeline in history and say it was millions and millions of years ago, but it wasn't. It was fairly recent. And their rudimentary and base nature shows that. And if you're a avid social media surfer, with TikTok, especially TikTok, there has been a growing trend of them explaining that they don't bathe every day, or they don't do this. So the basic things that we learned as Israelites, as Jake, be it Northern or Southern Kingdom, they don't even do those basic things. They don't regard life. They're very, very base creatures they are proving themselves to be. And that falls in line with the timeline because nothing's changed. Only thing that's changed is they were given. Let's get that. I said it in an earlier video, but it just keeps coming up. I said 25, but 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. We understand who the wicked is. He covereth up the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And we understand that covering up of the faces, the mainstream or the macro understanding, the macrocosmic understanding, is the Renaissance period of them painting over the dark images of the angels, the brown skinned images of the angels, and our Savior, whose name is Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. Jesus is another entity under another vibration. And pretty much just flipping everything from looking like us to them. Malachi. Fuck yeah. I believe it's 1. Maybe it's 4. Malachi. Tough one. Border of wickedness is what I'm looking for. Let's do this. We understand who the wicked is when it says the wicked. It is. It's 1 and 4. Straight to the point. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So the border is where something is contained, right? So we'll get border. And the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation with forever. So we'll get border. Something containing. So if you have a Texas border, Texas ends when New Mexico begins, type thing, or wherever you at, you understand. But let's just get it. H1366. So now my true Hebrew, my Lashawan Kadash, is a little rusty, but I want to say that would be Gabayal. Gabayal, Gabayal, because the vowel points were added by a man named Eleazar ben Yehudi. And in true Edomite pride, they felt that they needed to change the language because it was incomplete. The same way they change our food, even though the Lord, when it was created, He said it was good. They need to change and splice and uh, bond different types of fruit together to make a new fruit. They need to quote unquote, and let me emphasize quote unquote, improve on what the Lord already said was good. And they are so proud that they think that the languages of heaven needed improvement, so they added vowel points. So you let that sink in. Border territory. Wickedness is where they live. Enclosed within a boundary. So everything that is wicked, it is them. But I'm going off on a tangent. The point is, I'm watching The Last Kingdom, and on season 5, and it brings up, because I'm just going in, I'm going off on a tangent. This will be a video of various topics, should we say. Um, the King Constantine, of course, they show him as an Edomite. They show him as a pale face. But we understand in those times, Esau, Edom was in caves. They were not ruling. Jake was in charge. Jake was in power of uniting the kingdoms of England, of what England is known now. Because you have the Moors in Europe, right? You have all these different things, and I don't want to go too deep into it because I will extend this past what I need to because I have somewhere to be. But um, the point being is they put these white or quote unquote white, they put these pale images, but it wasn't them. You were not the Vikings. You were not the Spartans. You can look in the Book of Maccabees for that. The Lacedaemonian. Um, I believe that's the term. Damn. And oh man, I cannot find it. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Monian. Okay. Let's find it because I know it's in the Book of Maccabees. 1 Maccabees 12 and 21. Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I needed that. The point I'm trying to make is they paint themselves as these people. They have this grandiose image. They were present for everything. But the thing is, you're nothing, and you insert yourself where you were never at in the first place. That's that pride I'm talking about. All right, it is found. This is First Maccabees chapter 21. Good grief. First Maccabees chapter 12, verse 21. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and the Jews, and we understand when they say Jews, you're talking about the southern kingdom because the northern kingdom had already been carried away. So Jews is a term between Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. That is the southern kingdom. You have the split after Solomon. Again, you want an exhaustive lesson? GMS Kingdom Split or GMS Northern Kingdom / Southern. You, if you be on social media, you understand how to look this up. So you find it. It's just not an exhaustive lesson, right? So Lacedaemonians and the Jews are brethren, and never, not one point in time, does the Bible speak about a heathen nation being brethren. And you know that there are two sets of Gentiles. There are Gentiles because you are cut off, which you can, in the earlier part of Maccabees, you see that when uh, Antiochus, I believe, don't quote me on it, it's Antiochus, got into power, he really put hell on our people and told them you can't keep the Sabbath, you can't do any of these things. And if you look into the Torah or the Torah, there are things that you do that will cause you to be cut off. So you have that set of Gentiles, which are Hellenista, and then you have the actual blood Gentiles of other nations, Edomites, Elamites, um, Moab, Ammon, so on and so forth. But as you said, the Lacedaemonians, who are the Spartans, and the Jews are brethren. Got the ghetto bird in the sky again. But anyway, um, that's the point I'm trying to make. That they insert themselves where they don't belong. And again, Elder Malcolm, I've shown you his channels. You type them up. I'll do my best to link them in the description box. But he does extensive and exhaustive research on Esau Edom inserting himself where he doesn't belong. And I say all that to say this because as I was watching this show, I kind of felt some type of way. I got angry because it is a lie. Everything about them is a lie. And it led me to, let's get Isaiah real quick. Isaiah 10. It led me to think about all the things I've seen on social media, the climate. I usually like to watch things on social media to understand the climate, and the truth is mainstream now. You even have, the alphabet community Jake's talking about shrimp being a low vibrational food. Where do you think he got that from? And then I seen a girl talking about something like this chick is a whole ass Edomite, and I quote, that's what she said. Where do you think she got that from? And the truth being mainstream and this devil being found out, now you start to see, and of the elect, there will be more and more of us waking. I say us humbly. Hopefully, I am one. The more and more of us waking up. And it led me to this scripture. And again, this is various topics, so I pray that you're sticking with me because I am bouncing all over the place. I understand that. So, Salakia. Isaiah 10 and 20, this is what it led me to. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote him. We understand who is in charge of Babylon. The great daughter of the Chaldeans is Esau Edom. And we no longer seek his validation. We no longer seek anything from him or about him. I mean, the remnant at least. But the residual is even the seemingly or so-called, and I only say so-called 2/3 because you never know, the Lord might wake that individual up to do something. So I don't want to assume, but the behavior that they exhibit in a current time shows them as to be a 2/3. So I say the so-called 2/3 in that manner only, that even they understand certain things, and that is because of the labor of the man of GMS. So-called Holo Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, for them the true prophets of the Lord. All right, so they shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And some of them may not have the complete truth, but those of us who understand the true doctrine, we have the 100% truth, and we will walk in a proper path. So, leading up to Jacob waking up, Jacob waking up. So, leading up to that, we also understand that that means Babylon has to fall. Babylon being this place here that we live in our current time will fall. And turmoil and our people falling by the or the 2/3 falling by the sword and civil unrest, and all of these things will come in due time, right? So let's get Isaiah 13 and will fall due to the it says due to the Medes, but check this out. Let's get 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, and excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. But we know that in the time when we're talking about Babylon that was taken over, it was taken, the city was preserved, but Sodom and Gomorrah fell by fire. And that is the poetic nature of the Bible right here. And you see, it says overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah fell by fire, just as the prophecy states that this current land, the continent of North America, will fall by fire, by thermonuclear fire. So that is the beauty of the code of the Bible, and we have to be given the understanding to see these things. So all of these things have to happen before, right? What we read in Second Esdras, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we are in for a ride. We are in for a great and tumultuous time. But it's also a great time to be alive because the scriptures, I believe in Ecclesiasticus says, blessed the man that get to see the fall of his enemy, roughly paraphrased. But we need to be praying and we need to be acting in faith that we be preserved, that we be kept in the time of evil, because it does not say anything about us being taken out yet. You have the time that we are called up when it says come up hither, but we will be in the midst of Jacob's trouble and be kept. And I say we humbly again. So we all should be praying and being humble and having a contrite spirit and being repentant and trying to do the things that are pleasing unto the Lord to the best of our abilities, so that when that time comes, we are kept. Excuse me, because no one else but the hopeful elect are going to be considering what time, what turmoil and danger lies ahead, and we'll be laying up those heavenly treasures while everyone else is just living in the moment, YOLO, doing whatever it is that they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, answering the flesh at its every beckoning call. But us, we ought to be walking in the spirit. So take heed unto this, because times are coming where things are going to get very real and very hectic. So pray, utilize your faith, utilize prayer, calling on Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Yahweh meaning he is, or he exists, Bahashim in the name of, and that is his son, Yahushai, whom you refer to as Jesus ignorantly. And his name means the deliverer, because that's who he was sent to deliver, the lost sheep of the tribes of Israel. So with that being said, I pray that you are edified. And again, Salakia, forgive me. I was all over the place. I said a lot of different things in a lot of different periods. But that's just how the spirit moves, and that's how I follow. So forgive me if you cannot follow along, but I also have faith that the spirit will guide those who were meant to be guided, and they will understand where I'm going and what I'm saying, even through the hoops. So shalom.